you're all super excited after you've heard Lena speak about the different ways that you can promote your book. I'm here to talk about the tools. If you're like me at all, you have a little bit of a challenge maybe with the promoting portion of your book, and that's why I took on this topic here at this presentation. I struggle myself with the promotion. I've done some promotion, but I'd like to be way more effective. And you heard from Lena about the different ways that you can digitally market your book with email marketing and blogging. Today, I'm going to talk to you a bit about the tools that you can use for this. So mastering digital tools to propel your book's reach. So who am I? Why do you want to listen to me? Well, I have 3 books currently published, and I have a couple more in the works. I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I like to tell people I'm a non-perfect parent, and that ties into my first book about parenting. And I am a full-time breadwinner for my family. I work in IT, so I'm the nerd that everybody comes to with all of their tech questions still. And I'm currently located in Regina, so I had to be really aware of the time shift when the times changed there. So just this is one of the stories that I wrote. It was called Fleeing Gerald, and it won an award with Young People's Press. This was a while ago, back when I was in school still, so you can just see that it's been a while my progress in writing has been a journey. Zonka mentioned the busy signal, so we have won several COM awards with the newsletter that we put out for our newsletter, and I have been doing this for over a decade now. I have 45 issues under my belt. I write as well as editing, and you can read all the previous issues if you want online. I'm sure if that's something that interests you. It's a lot of labor stuff, but it relates to everybody. And finally, I edited a lady's book whose English was not her first language, and so she had me do the full schema of editing from developmental all the way up to proofreading, and she won an award in Britain for her award for her book. So I do have some experience under my belt. I'm not just making this up off the cuff. Today, I wanted to talk to you quickly about your author brand and some of the tools that you can use to help with your promotion of your book, talking about website, blogging, social media, email marketing, and then how to generate some content or some ideas, because that's becoming more of a thing nowadays. So, establishing your author brand. Why do you want an author brand? Well, most people think of an author brand as, well, the branding, right? The colors, the fonts, the pretty pictures, all that good stuff. That's only part of it. It's not just about having a logo and a catchy tagline. It's about creating an identity for yourself. I like to think of myself as kind of not perfect. I am not a perfect person. I never supposed to be perfect in anything that I do, but I have learned things along the way, and I can share these tips and tricks with you, and you can put them into use. But why do you want an author brand? Well, it's going to help you connect personally with someone. A lot of the stuff that we do is virtual nowadays, and having that pseudo-social relationship with people is done by connecting with your readers. Readers can be drawn to your personality or your style or your theme, and then they build loyalty because it builds loyalty because they can actually know what to expect and connect with you. Consistency and trust. The brand can help readers connect with your genre, your tone, or your quality, and it builds trust and makes readers want to buy your stuff later on. So they'll read one book now, and they might sign up for your newsletter, and then when your next book comes out, they already know you, so they're going to buy your next book. For those of you who have published books or looked at topics for books, you will notice that a lot of genres are oversaturated with books, and being able to have an author brand will help you with propel your unique voice and perspective. It's going to help you stand out and just make you come to mind and differentiate yourself from everyone else. They call it niching, but I don't like niching. I think differentiation is a good one, is a good term. A clear brand will also help with your marketing and visibility. So this is, I believe, where some of the colors and fonts and stuff and consistency across that will come across. It will help you, like I branded my PowerPoint presentation that I'm showing you today. It is, okay, I'm going to apologize for a second. Has it actually showing, is it actually showing the presentation, or am I? Yeah? Okay, good. Sorry. Uh, yeah, so I have the neutral color in the background, and then I have burgundy and blue. Those are the colors that I chose, and then I have certain scripts and stuff as well. And I believe that a very nicely laid out presentation will help engage your people as well. And then publishers and agents, if you have a brand, they're going to take you on a lot quicker because they don't have to do all that work ahead of time. And finally, professional opportunities. I know Lena spoke a lot about her in speaking engagements, her unveiling, things like that. Those are all great ways to help promote your book, and you will find those coming along as you go. Like Vesna invited me, I did a presentation at the conference last year or this year. It's all a foundation for branching out into other forums and starting to engage in other forums. So what tools will help you with an author brand? Well, that's a great question. I was fortunate enough, well, you know, these little cell phone devices, they tend to listen. And people think I'm joking, but they do. They actually, somehow, they know what you've talked about and they start targeting your ads. And one of the courses that came out was about, on Facebook, was a free course about how to come up with your brand, and they meant more of the visual stuff. So I took that course. I learned a lot. There's YouTube tutorials that you can take. There's free courses on like Udemy and things like that. There's a whole bunch of places that you can go and get information for free. And if you so desire, you can also pay to have courses, more in-depth courses with hands-on experience. So now I'm going to go into some of the more specific things like website and blogging. Sometimes people interchange this website and blogging. Technically, they're two different things. You can have a website and you can have a blog, or you can have a website with a blog, or you can just have a blog. Whatever it is that you like to do, the way to do it, I'm giving you 3 examples of things that I have used. WordPress is by far my favorite. It is easy to use. It is easy to change your theme. You can add a whole bunch of plugins, and it's free. You can host it to get rid of the ads, but you can do it for free as long as you don't mind the ad-based version. I use WordPress for my website and my blog. It is by far the most popular of the blogging platforms, and it's really good for people that want to customize. If you want to customize and put your own branding on it, like your color themes and your fonts and stuff, it's fairly easy to do that. Substack is another one. I have also taken several different courses over the years, and they had suggested Substack. It's more like a newsletter based platform. So if you just want to have like an email list where you're sending out your newsletters, or even having subscribe for more information, you can do that through Substack. And again, it's free. And the last one that I worked with was Medium. It was more, I found that one kind of the least of the, like I liked it the least because it was basically just a cut and paste thing where you could put the stories up. There was no formatting, there was no colors or anything. It was just good for more for content-based things. But those are some of the options that you could use, and you can add your themes right in to all of these different tools, except, well, Medium not so much, but with Substack and WordPress you can. And you can use a consistent writing style and voice. You can have branded blog designs. You can add your books. I have all my books listed on my website as well. Uh, Lena also mentioned sharing behind the scenes contents, or even your writing process and things like that. These are all things that you can add to your website or your blog, whichever you prefer. You can also set up categories on your blogging so that people can do a quick search to find out things. Like if you do a lot of blogging, you want to be able to group things together. I did a 30-day poetry workshop, and so if you look at the poetry side, you will find all these different things about poetry. Whatever you like. That was more of a blog series that I did, but yeah, so choose your platform and go sign up for WordPress. If you haven't got it one already, go sign up. It's free. Play around with it. See what you can do. And if you need help, I mean, there's tutorials, or you can message me, or whatever you like. The next thing I want to talk about is social media. Social media. So there was this Toastmasters project called creating a compelling blog, or setting up your there's two, and setting up your social media. And the very first thing that I learned is social media is not just Facebook. Did you know that? It's not. Social media includes everything. It includes your website. It includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever tools are out there to be able to be social, or pseudo-social, as I like to say, because they don't really know you, but they get to know you through your content. Social media. You can share all the stuff that you put on your blog in social media, or you can do different things, and you can post the same content across multiple platforms, because something else shocking I learned, apparently Facebook's for old people. So if you want to engage the younger folks, you need Snapchat or Instagram. If you want to engage the more professional type networking opportunities, you want to sign up with LinkedIn. And something that I really want to highlight, and I'm going to talk about this several different times, Canva. Go sign up for Canva. It's free. You can buy a paid version, but Canva is free, and they have so many different templates and so many different things that you can do in social media. They have templates that you can use, and you can apply your branding. If you have a pro account, you can apply your branding. And I want to show you some of the really cool things that I have made using Canva. You can you can choose a template that fits a specific size. I don't know if you've ever tried to find a picture that works on a Facebook cover, and then you're like, oh, these are all the wrong size, and you can get really frustrated really quickly. Your image is this big, or you're cut off here and here, or whatever. Canva, you can pick a template, Facebook event cover, like this. And when I fill it all out and I upload it, it works. It's perfect. You could do that for Facebook. You could do that for Instagram. You can do that for not only event covers, but your personal profile covers. There's all different kinds of things. If you want to make posters, if you want to make brochures, if you want to make PowerPoint presentations, you name it, Canva has a template for you. Email marketing. Now, again, Lena's already touched on this, but I want to talk about the tools for building an email list. MailChimp is a widely used tool pretty user-friendly, which I appreciate, and I'm sure that you will appreciate being not, most people aren't that technical sometimes. It has different options. It has free up to 500 subscribers, and you can customize all of your design and your templates to fit your colors, fonts, and visual styles. Tell me that isn't slick. I thought it was brilliant, so I have started exploring that as well. Substack, I already mentioned about Substack in the newsletters, but you can also build newsletters directly on Substack, and you can have paid subscriptions where people are paying you a monthly fee to read your newsletters. So this is more for authors that are looking to share written content with their readers, and it's free to use with a percentage. If you're charging people for subscriptions, you pay a percentage of whatever it is that you earn. And the final one is MailerLite, which I recently heard about as an alternative to MailChimp. It's free for up to 1,000 subscribers. And it's a beginner-friendly platform with, you can automate your emails to send in a sequence, you can create landing pages, you can have pop-up forms. There's all different kinds of things, and you can put your branding, your color schemes and all that right in MailerLite. I like to encourage people to go and start with something simple, and then later on, if your email list has grown so substantially that you need to make a paid version, you can switch to you can export all your stuff and switch over to other mail platforms. Skipping ahead there. So create your engaging newsletters, emails. You can write about the same stuff that Lena talked about the behind the scenes and all that. And I'm going to again mention Canva because Canva is your friend. It is super user friendly. You can create newsletters. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube. It's intuitive, it's user friendly, it's tech free. You don't need to know code to do it. It's drag and drop. Where you put it is where it shows up. There's so many different templates you can choose from, and you can modify the templates after you've chosen one. Say you find something that you really like, but the color's wrong, you can easily change that. Imagine being an author who's used these tools to turn your book launch into a bestseller event. And you can use all these sneak peeks and cover reveals and personal stories to get all these subscribers, and then they're all going to come out to your book launch, and it will be a fabulous, awesome, best-selling event. All right, tools for content. Oh, how many of you have been inundated with this ChatGPT thing? What's it all about? I didn't want to look at it. I thought AI is going to take all our jobs. We're never going to have to do anything in tech again. Well, surprise, I tried it out and I love it. I love it. You can get a free version again. It's not as slick, but it is very good. And it's a super powerful tool for creating a variety of promotional content. You can see some examples on my slide here. You can ask it to craft short, punchy, and engaging posts for your social media. It can include quotes. It can suggest relevant hashtags, which can thus increase the visibility of your posts. And you can make it so that I don't know if you know this in social media, but you can plan your content for a month and have it post like a daily thing for you automatically. And ChatGPT can help you come up with that series of information. It can help with blurbs for your book descriptions, your newsletter content. It can help with your blog content. I did a little, if you go on my website and look, there's a little, it's all AI generated and then tweaked for my tone and branding. But I did a series of how to develop short stories. Why it's like why the different components are important. And so there's a short little, I don't know, 7 days or something that I did a different topic for each, how to create a compelling character and doing your plot and all that stuff. And it was all AI generated. Granted, you don't want to charge money for that. I feel like that's not really ethical to charge money for stuff that AI gave you, but you could, I guess. It can help with your press releases. It can help with your book launch strategies. It can create a speech for you or a topic to help with reader engagement. It can help with your website copy, your book reviews. If you're not comfortable asking people for your book reviews, it can give you ideas on how to write a letter to ask them to give you a book review. The possibilities are endless when it comes to ChatGPT or any generative AI. Oh, and videos and podcast scripts. So like Lena mentioned, having an interview or collaborating with someone, you could ask it, what kind of questions should I ask? What would engage people on my video if I wanted to talk about setting a plot or coming up with a good character? The last thing that I want to talk about now that I've gone through, oh, I'm skipping around a little bit. You know that cute little dragon that I showed you a few slides ago on the front cover of the Busy Signal? That was AI generated. It can do images too, not just text. Now that you have your author brand, though, website, social media, and email marketing, it's time to launch your book. Now, I know Dan Lonechild isn't here today. I wish he was, because I want to tell him all about how to help with his book launch. A successful launch is about starting ahead of time, creating that buzz and excitement about your book, and then having the book launch. Tips for a successful book launch. I've held two. To create a plan. So that's where Lena's tools came in, or Lena's suggestions about the email list and the social media and the tools that I've given you. Create the buzz, use your social media, all that stuff to promote it, engage your email list, provide exclusive early access chapters or other special discounts. I offered people $5 off the book. Things like that can get people engaged and talking about your book. And hosting a virtual or in-person event. I know Lena talked about hosting a virtual event. I hosted 2 in-person events. I was fortunate enough to be able to do it, one before COVID and one after. Some quick tips about booking a venue. My first book launch, I did at Crave, which is a local restaurant here in Regina. And I'll admit, I spent way more money than I should have on that book launch. I paid for nibblies and beverages and had a whole bunch of books on hand. So it cost me a couple $1,000s. And the second one that I decided to do was at the library. For those of you who aren't aware, in Regina at least, you can book a free library room for up to 3 hours every couple of months. And I just brought in a fruit plate and some juice boxes for the people to come. And so it was like maybe $100 to do the second book launch. My only caution is to be very careful that you advertise the right library branch if you are doing a book launch at the library, because I told everybody it was at Albert Street and it wasn't, it was at Glencairn. So that led to a little bit of scrambling last minute. We all make mistakes. It's a lessons learned. Thankfully, everyone had a good chuckle and they were able, it's not like Calgary where you have to drive an hour to get across town. It was like 10 minutes. But yeah, make sure you advertise the right location. You can also do at your book launch an author reading. At the first one, I read a chapter of my book. At the I did author signing at both of them, where I had personalized the inscription inside to the person. At the second one, I also had the illustrator there because that was a very image heavy book. You can sell your books there and you can gather contacts. And the biggest thing about the book launch, I'm sure I cannot stress this enough, is celebrate the win. You are done your book. It doesn't matter if it's a total flop, you're done. It could be a bestseller, it might not be a bestseller. Just celebrate. It took me 10 years to write my first book, The Path to Perfection. My late husband had encouraged me to finish writing this, and he tried everything he could to get me to finish writing this. And it took me 2 years to the day after he passed to get it done, and 8 years prior to him passing. And I stood outside at his little tree that I had planted in the backyard, and I said, I've done it. I did it, Jason. I did it. So it's a huge thing. And it wasn't even so much that it was a moneymaker for me. I'm not the next J.K. Rowling. It was the fact that I got it done. Since then, I also launched Don't Be a Dick, Examples How Not to Drive. I'm sure you can all relate, especially in Regina. I think we need to be nominated for Canada's Worst Driver as a city because, oh, the things I see people do, insane. And one other book that I have is Chaos Interrupted. This was more of a fun thing with my poetry and my art that I do. And so I interlaid the poetry over top of the art and just published it that way. I stole that idea from a friend, but it's my work. So promoting your book is an ongoing journey. There's a whole plethora of tools I've explained to you today, from Canva to WordPress to create your website, social media, not just Facebook, email marketing using MailChimp or MailerLite. There's newsletters, there's templates, there's Canva, there's so much that you can experiment with. Try them all out, see what works for you, and combine these tools with the content Lena referenced, and you will have an arsenal full of powerful tools that can help you reach and engage with your readers. Finally, I have my contact information on the last slide here. I'm sure that Vesna will also circulate it. I go under Creativity with Dawn for everything. So I've got the Facebook, social media, and the Gmail and the website that all use that Creativity with Dawn. And I hope that I'm looking forward to seeing, I want to be invited to all your book launches when you're done and ready and you have that manuscript. Please invite me. I love to see what other people are doing. And I'll return control back to Zonka. Thank you.